Hello, my name is Brian McDonald, and this is the capstone project for the MBA 5400 statistical learning class. And the process that I am working on is and proposing is to streamline agent issue resolution using AI in the scheduling contact center for a healthcare company. Wanted to start with a little overview of the contact center operations. Their core function is to manage voice and digital patient interactions. And specifically, they cover um, scheduling clinical appointments and also some after hours support. Their primary objective, though, is for scheduling appointments. From an operational perspective, they really heavily rely on stable software applications. Quality sound is a big deal too, because they're wearing headsets all day so that they can interact with their customers. And they also have dedicated support teams that assist them to perform their daily activities. Some key facts about the contact center. They have about 500 agents. Each agent has, or the average agent pay is about $30 per hour. Per appointment, when all is said and done, it's about $120 in revenue generated. So if the patient shows up for that appointment, about $120 of revenue is generated. Typically, an agent could schedule about 5 appointments per hour. And that all comes to about $300,000 in appointment revenue generation per hour for the contact center. So definitely a lot of revenue generation for this team. So I want to frame the problem that we're trying to solve. Essentially, it is around wasted hours where the agent is trying to resolve technical issues. Like I mentioned, they do have a lot of applications they use, and they rely on support from those application teams and service desk and so on. Many times they will run into issues that they need to resolve, and they cannot always resolve them themselves, and a lot of times have to call in to the service desk and try to get those resolved. They really do not have a great knowledge base for helping resolve their own issues. The service desk is also not really trained well to respond to those issues. Additionally, a lot of the agents are not very technically savvy. So that definitely gives a barrier for solving their own issues. Most of their incidents are sent to field services, where then the agent has to wait for that resource to become available and contact them. From a calculation perspective, about 10% of callers might not be able to get their appointment booked due to agent being down and not being able to take calls, which could result in about $4,500 of lost revenue for the month. So the solution proposing is to use an agentic AI chatbot. This chatbot would be intuitive and would give the agent step-by-step instructions powered by a knowledge base that would be beefed up to help solve those problems that they run into. The chatbot then would have what we would call supervised learning, but keeping the human in the loop for fine tuning. So as time goes on, that chatbot needs to continue learning. Maybe some corrections need to occur so that it can answer more questions, or maybe it could answer questions correctly. Um, that fine tuning has to occur with a human in the loop. So um, definitely would use that model. One great thing about a chatbot is that it's always on and is always available. Um, and versus maybe for the service desk, they might get busy at times and might not be able to answer calls as quickly as needed. And lastly, this could be used um, for the contact center agents and service desk analysts and even field services if they need it for troubleshooting. So next, we want to have a plan for measuring our success. I'll go over some of the key performance indicators here of the contact center. They focus a lot on average speed to answer and abandoned calls. So the quicker they answer a call, the better. Obviously, you don't want callers sitting on hold in a waiting room before the call's being answered. And of course, we don't want callers hanging up before they have a chance to talk with an agent. A couple of assumptions: we would likely pilot the program to test it out before we deploy it to all agents. And of course, we would need leadership to encourage adoption with their staff. So from a goals perspective and methods and of achieving the success, what we want to do is, or one of the goals is to try to decrease service desk incidents by 25%. And that feels very doable with with a chatbot and making sure that it has what it needs to resolve issues. This seems very doable. Also, in doing that, what we hope is an outcome is that we would have lower average speed to answer and abandonment rates, which is huge. So looking to lower those by 10%. We would likely use a descriptive approach to show performance trends using bar graphs and so on. And then we would be measuring amount of time that agents spend using the chatbot. And we'll cover that a little bit later too with a process diagram. So a little bit more about the process for data analysis. We really want to monitor the usage and collect the self-service tool inquiries, how many times they're actually using it during the week and month. We also want to track the incident volume. And it's key that we try to normalize that from month to month. And ideally, the monthly incident volume would go down because the agents are solving their own problems. Additionally, we want to decrease the number of incidents that actually need an application analyst. So that's considered like a level 2 type analyst. Most issues can be resolved by the agent or maybe by a field service or service desk person. So we definitely want to keep that troubleshooting at that level. We'll work on data compilation to make sure that it's normalized and fed into the data lake. And we would use linear regression to show a correlation between the tool use and incident reduction. And as I mentioned, increased self-service should result in fewer incidents. So this is a process diagram where starting here from the left-hand side, showing where we're starting, and the agent identifies a problem that they need help with. And the agent locates the self-service messaging widget to search for. They try to use that widget to look up the issue that they're having trouble with. Try to resolve it. If they're not able to, then they can talk with the service desk. And then, of course, if the service desk can't resolve it, then they send it over to level 2 support. But notice here in the diagram, we have several spots notated where we want to measure um, the increase or decrease of incidents or usage of the new system. And we certainly want to decrease the number of incidents that are going to level 2 application support team. So we want to prepare for the change. It's essential that we take the time and make sure that um, our agents are trained properly, that they understand what the chatbot is and to not be um, hesitant in using it. You can ask a whole lot of questions, and I think with people using many different AI products nowadays, many people have started to get comfortable using these, and we think that short video clips would be helpful to teach agents how to use it and what to expect. We would also have question and answer opportunities for those agents where we would host like lunch and learns and things like that to help out. Obviously, we want to make sure that leadership is engaged and encouraging adoption. And we would also take the time to educate the service desk analysts to make sure they understand the new process and how they can help. So implementation plan and cost. So on the right-hand side, showing just a high-level process for the implementation where we go into designing and building the chatbot and the knowledge base and that. Then we go into a process where we do testing and remediate any issues that have come up. And then finally, of course, go live and continue fine-tuning the application. Just cover some costs here. So from a monthly chatbot cost is about $265. And how that was calculated was just showing the application support labor, showing that it's about $240 a month to just maintain and fine tune the application. And the chatbot usage, it's about 10 cents per turn for the usage. And so about $25 there. So that's the chatbot cost. And then for return on investment, this is pretty obvious, I guess you would say, is that we've got a potential of $4,500. $4,235 a monthly return on investment due to being able to book those appointments that were not maybe bookable previously. So by getting those agents back on the phones, ready to book appointments, it keeps them available to help generate revenue for the company. And we've reached the end of the proposal here. I'd like to say, when can we get started? So let us know if you have any questions, what your thoughts are on this, and really appreciate your time.